Alrighty then. Well, I bumped into the guy on the walk to the library in the rain today. He's always walking away when you're trying to talk to him. He says things, you don't get to finish your sentence, then he says things, and he walks away. Like it's almost like he's a comedian and he walks on a punchline, but it's not a punchline. And anyway, so I'm like, oh, did you want me to tell you what I wanted to say? Or like, so he seemed pretty happy actually after I said this. I said I was considering doing for him what the owner of the Moosey Cho, the camping van that I have, did for me. Uh, payment plan. So what I would like, I paid 5,000 in payment plans. Then the BC Ministry of Poverty Creation broke that contract to get into it because they were upset that they weren't micromanaging my life. By the way, I just booked an appointment for dentist, and they said, which tooth is it? They just know who I am right away, even with this new phone number, just from my voice. And, when you got the elusive Homo sapien gets known in a community quite quickly. When you live your life by human standards, and you kind of expect the same when people kind of want to call themselves human, based on the definitions of sentient sapiens, you are known fairly quickly. And, so I say it's one of those teeth that has been fixed enough time to pay for 2 or 3 crowns. I said, okay, maybe 2 crowns. And and that's one of the things, right, with Blue Cross's arrangement to violate our human rights in this money laundering scheme with the BC Ministry of Poverty Creation and the BC government, who also, as MLAs, have Blue Cross, but except they get different things, different diagnoses, let's say, or different treatments for the same dental ailments. And so like what they would like Blue Cross to maximize their profit is they would like more teeth pulled out, and eventually you don't have any more teeth instead of them putting crowns, let's say. And then they still want to be able to use your identity to launder money among themselves, even when you reach the point where, they've pulled all your teeth out. Anyway, so I met that guy and I said, yeah, I didn't say the amount, but the amount for me would be if he puts 1,000 down, I would do 7,000 in payments with a third party that we have to discuss. We did kind of come up with an idea as he was walking away. I'm still trying to continue the conversation with him. And why more? Well, oh my God, there's so much money I put into this. And also he's getting a lot of extra things, like the big tarp that's insulated, because I think he's going to live in it, because now he's telling me he's living on the bridge, under a bridge. So, but he seemed pretty excited, and he didn't get the money he was expecting federally from the government, and it might take a long time. And maybe when that comes in, he'll want to pay me in full. But anyways, we'll talk again. I'm not in a rush, but this relates to this topic here. I'm going to read you something I wrote yesterday when I was looking into the Ford Maverick. My trade-in, when I'm at, and I don't know if I just said the mileage in the year, because they kind of don't want you to talk about things like that. They want you to love the new truck so much that you'll then kind of have done so much work yourself that you'll accept anything for your trade-in. This is a wheelchair lift adapted camping vehicle with many new parts to it. Example: 6 new tires, new radiator, new brakes all around, newer batteries, repaired metal roof, etc. It has an older propane tank for cooking and for the furnace, as well as the electrical components to reinstall solar panels. Due to the unreliability and often incorrect patterns in acquiring mechanical parts for this Ford that lasts more than 2 years, rarely, I expect Ford to respond to me in more respectful ways that AC Delco and Lordco did not when they received my letter of intent to sue them. Signed, Martin Parizeau. P.S. These failings to Ford owners have been well documented on my YouTube channel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, and by the way, I am kind of hoping for a second part-time job before I buy this, so I might have been quick to do this. I was planning to do this because they're predictable. It's almost like before I could ever work for a Friendship House, I have to kind of find somebody that doesn't work there to hire me to work there to give workshops on what friendship is. But I'm going to tell you, I wrote today when I saw this 33 minutes posted earlier when I was on Facebook, is Friendship House Association of Prince Rupert's post. is just a reminder about the EVA bus run, and it's only Thursdays because they haven't hired me for Tuesdays yet. And I wrote, there was 2 comments, and they were wondering only Thursday and really need changes on bus, especially since no more Walmart. And I would do more than 2 days, including a trip to the ski hill for whoever wants to book it, the school or whoever. Can I help provide your Tuesday driver needs? I wrote. Did management not yet receive my application from last week, Professor Marty? Okay, but if I get that job and if I keep the little on-call job I have now that gives me shifts once in a while, I would sell this guy who's homeless my motorhome on a payment plan after he gives me $1,000, because I wrote $1,000 as a down payment on this Ford hybrid all-wheel drive Maverick. And so now I'm gonna, with you guys, listen to the message, because the guy called me right away, and he said, "Oh, all I want to know is which one are you looking for? The color? Oh, that's what." Well, it's written and everything that you guys have access to, but you can have me repeat myself at the library if you want. So this is the voicemail I haven't listened to yet, because he called me back, like I said, and it was when I got back home. You can pretty much see what my password is. Okay.
First new message.
Hi, Martin. Dimitri calling you back as you requested in roughly 2 hours. It's 4:42 p.m. Just wrapping up my day here at the dealership. Give me a call when you get a chat. 250-635-4984. Reception and just ask for Dimitri. Thank you.
Okay, so what I was hoping for from Dimitri is some sort of understanding of what I wrote, right? Because I don't want to waste my time
End of messages. Main menu.
and buy a vehicle and be stuck in the same, like, I want Ford to acknowledge, and I won't get them to acknowledge what it's been like for me to own a Ford and be victimized because of their choices to subcontract, to not do any more Ford parts that lasted as long as the original ones, and have AC Delco and Lordco supply us, and then they don't last that long, and I've documented it, and they don't care. So I need them to care about owners, and of course I would only lease it for 2 years, because that's the minimum, and that's how much I'd give them a chance. But what I would not do is accept a really low trade-in cost. And if they're a dealership, they can freaking get a lot of the parts and fix a lot of things on this motorhome, and maybe one of the mechanics would buy it off them, if he gets to work on it there at the dealership and discounts on parts, whatever it is. But there needs to be a win-win scenario as one of your victims of Ford, okay? And it happened to be a Ford, okay? And my grandpa loved Fords, so I didn't want to be a guy that hates Fords, but they might end up being like that.